a second attempt. I'm going live now. Hey, we're going to try this the second time. I'm not sure what happened to the first attempt. Only lasted like 26 seconds. We'll give it another go. Welcome to hopefully this one works out. Collapsing with Casey. The Friday live stream today is called Wedbull versus nipple ring death. So no, it's just going to be us here. So actually, let me get the Zoom link, and I'll post the Zoom link if anybody wants to join. You're more than welcome. I'd love to hang out with you and just talk about all the goods, all the great stuff that's going on in the world. It's so grand. I just can't wait for grandkids grow up in this lovely USA and the planet collectively. All right. I suck at multitasking, so I'm sorry. Whenever I'm having to do something, I'm not too talkative, and I suck at multitasking. Probably why I'm poor, right? I make a lot of money and I have all the great jobs. But I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a good week. Happy Friday. I posted the Zoom link. Hopefully this one worked. I'm not sure why the last one only lasted 26 seconds. Right before I came on the first time, there was a chopper overhead. So yeah, I'm making a joke, but yeah, CIA was here and probably cut our connection or something. And I'm joking. Hey Annie, welcome to the Friday night, the Zoom edition. So jump on the Zoom if you want. Grateful Dan, what's up, man? Yeah, okay, cool. Because the first time I set it up, nobody was in the chat. It only said like 2 people watching, and then I looked at the stream and it said it was only 26 seconds long. So who knows, man? Maybe that was the CIA flying over and cutting our connection. Next time, I won't announce it. We'll just keep it between us. Maybe who knows? Oh man, hope everybody had a good week. I'm already starting to repeat myself. Jump into the Zoom if you like. We can have a good chat. I'll post a link. I'm not sure if you get the link, if you sign on late and you haven't seen it before. I don't know if you get the previous chat messaging or not. I forget. But yeah, it's just us tonight. Justin's not with us tonight. I don't know if he'll be back or not. He's been out before and came back. I don't know that he will this time, but it's all good, man. No no hard feelings or nothing like that toward anybody. Just trying to maintain, man. Like, God, I feel like all the time, every morning I throw up before work, and then hey, yeah, every morning I fucking throw up before work, and I feel like shit all day. Oh God! Now, if I have a day off, it's cool. Like I can, when I wake up home and I'm not having to leave and go to work, then I feel so much more at ease and just more a little more like my old self. But and yeah, I don't know. Tammy's showing some technical difficulties on her side too. That's why we are so late getting going because I was actually right on time at 6, but that one only lasted 26 seconds, and we lost connection. Oh, sorry, Annie. Yeah, man, that sucks. Brian, I mentioned Guy McPherson. Yeah, I was trying to look and see what about Guy. Oh man, Tammy's giving me some information here.
Your Zoom link.
Thinking maybe there's an issue, yeah, with the Zoom link or something.
It says to launch.
Yeah, we might. Yeah, Brian. I'm not Guy. I'm far from Guy, but yeah, he is the professor of climate science. Yeah, there's nobody that knows all of this stuff as deep and as knowledgeable as he is. So it's pretty gnarly. I'm not sure if the Zoom link is working. So maybe that's why nobody's jumping on. But yeah, Grateful Dan. Yeah, it is. It is a record. Hey, Joanne. Um, he's the only one not like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, what a stupid world we live in, man. You know, there's literally one person, one scientist that is telling the fucking truth about where we're at and how bad everything is and how bad it's going to get. Which is which is scary, right? Hey, Billy. Um, yeah, yeah, guys, definitely. He's the best teacher. He's the most important whistleblower. I say that all the time on the show, on this channel. He's the most important whistleblower that's ever been because he is telling us what's going on right now. Before him, probably Michael Rupert was probably the most informative, whistleblower. And he actually started talking climate there toward the end. He started talking more and more about climate in the end. And actually, Guy was his climate guy. Actually, Mimi Gurman, who actually introduced um, Michael Rupert to Guy, and and got them connected. And they, I wish we still had Michael, but when you know the kind of stuff that Michael knew and Guy and even and us as well, um, it's heavy and it's not healthy information, but when you want to know the truth, um, and you find it, you know, it's heavy shit. I see a lot of people that are backing down and they're like, I wish I didn't know, I wish I didn't know, and I don't understand that because I look at everybody that doesn't know, and it's just popping out babies like they're popping pills. It blows my mind and it really aggravates me. So I'm glad I know. I mean, you have to, you can't be conscious in this world and not know that shit's really fucked up and really wrong, and everyone's suffering, and even the rich people, I think, are suffering because they have such a wealth addiction that they can't crave. They can't feed their craving and get their fill. It's just unhealthy every way. Every way you look at it, it's all just really, really unhealthy. Um, yeah, so that's a good point, Grateful Dan. And that's one thing that is this late stage in the game really does help me get through the day, and a little bit takes a little bit of the stress edge off, is that I have, I think, a really good exit plan. I'll tell you guys about that. Actually, I'll put it in the chat. It'll be easy to find that way. Let's see, www. And if anybody wants to talk to this company, right to die, number two, right, like left and right, but right to die.org. You go there and you're going to pull up the rebreather mask, and that thing looks wonderful. I mean, I want to do it every morning, but my wife won't let me yet. So we're waiting for, for when it's the right time, I guess. But that's the thing. The only thing about it is it takes a month to get. Do we even have another month of global shipping, because it ships from China via DHL? So it's called the rebreather mask, rebreather. And the key, I'm not good enough to really explain the science of it, but my friends and I all looked at it, that talk about this stuff, know, and some of that includes probably some of you guys that are here. It's the real deal. It works. There's no pain, and it's actually work, and it doesn't trigger. Your brain has a trigger if you're not breathing or you're not getting oxygen. It has a trigger, so you can't just put a bag over your head and go to sleep. It doesn't work like that. You'll panic. And but with the rebreather system, there's a soda lime ingredient when you put it all together, and it's got a 3-year shelf life. So we don't have 3 years. So that works. That helps. And you just put it all on, put it together, and the soda lime is the active ingredient. So it doesn't trigger your brain with an emergency response. So you don't freak out and pull the mask off and go, oh no, it didn't work. No, it'll work. So pretty since I found that, I felt like I had found what I was really searching for, aside from the part of how much time do we have left. Once I really started to find that out and understand it, which I knew. I mean, that's why I found Guy, and he was so easy for me to learn from, because he breaks it down so simply. And I just have I have, I guess, kind of a keen eye for understanding nature, and that everything is connected. You got to connect the dots, right? And I just saw us just murdering the planet. I was like, I couldn't believe we were still here. But I knew our time had to be short. And even the first time I heard him say 2030, I was like, really? But that was the old interview. And then the newer stuff, he was already saying 2026, and I found him a couple of years ago. So I knew right then that, and people think, oh, in Guy says this too, people think that everything will be rosy for them until December 30th or 31st, 2025. And no, the 2026 thing is the bunker dwellers. I don't even think that will last till 20. Things are happening quicker, especially now. Things are just happening quicker. I don't think they'll last long. No, they're narcissists. You put them underground. I mean, imagine being in a submarine for just 6 months. You go fucking crazy. It's no different than being in a bunker, because at that point, it won't be safe to crack the hatch. There will be, no oxygen. If there is, it'll be deadly gases, and just gonna be shit. And that's what cracks me up about, these chest beaters on Arctic News or Near Term or any of these other pages. It's like some dude was saying that in the northwest part of America, it's gonna maintain. It'll never go bad, and he's gonna live it out up there. I'm just like, what do you fucking think? Your Walmart's not even gonna shut down? You're like, the northeast part of America is separate from the planet or something. It's so stupid. That's the way people work with their hope and bullshit. They just can't accept, that it's going to happen to them too. Oh, that's other people. That's the equator is going to be uninhabitable. Hell, the parts of Europe and Russia and North America are already becoming more unlivable than the equator, right? It's just ah yeah, Joanne, exactly. They're gonna kill each other in the bunker. You know, we're not designed to be in a fucking capsule. Um, we're not made that way. Whether it's a submarine or a bunker, it's just shit. Um, yeah, Annie, I think Margot puts out really good info, but I can't stand the Jesus. I don't do the Jesus, and I don't even think I've ever tuned into her page. But if you can handle the Jesus, she's good. Good information. I just can't handle that. No, yeah. Thanks, Annie. I hope everybody that is concerned about an exit plan and doesn't want to do anything violent, like when I hear people go, "Oh, just put a gun in." You know how many people are gonna fail trying to blow their brains out when it's time to exit? That's fuck that. And then when you fail, there's no EMT or emergency or nothing to, kind of put you back together. What a shit show. What a yeah, Billy, you can hide, but you can't hide. But what a shit show that is going to be when people are scrambling, going, "Oh, this is awful." I need to end my suffering. Um, and yeah, they're gonna put a gun or something, and that's one of my biggest fears. Um, Going out, and we have one for protection, but I hate turning that shit on myself or my wife. Um, can you imagine having to fucking shoot your wife or your family? You know, fuck no, dude. Oh, I mean, it's bad enough to put a mask on, but to have to, at least a mask is nonviolent, right? So it's, there's something to that. A lot, and like I said, it really uses me up. I'm gonna post the Zoom link again. Anybody jump in on the Zoom and have a chat, because yeah, it's just gonna be me rambling, and uh, yeah, it's getting dark. It's getting real, right? And hopefully I had a couple people in the loop on interviews coming up. So maybe hopefully next couple Fridays or next couple weeks. If anybody wants to hit up anybody at Fight to Die and say, "Hey man, come on Joey's channel," please always do. I welcome that. Um, I should hit them up too, but I'm busy and don't always thinking of a whole list of people to talk to, ask them to come on my silly little channel. But yeah, yeah, it's that'd be all right, Billy. We are yeah, revolution, and yeah. I am taking a break from social media. In fact, the only reason I didn't leave social media is because I used my page for the for this channel. So but yeah, I've left all the groups, left everything, every group, because there's no real point anymore. And some groups were starting to feel kind of kind of cultish, and that was kind of hard for me. So I had to get out of that. And then other groups are there's too much hopium, and we're gonna fix this. We got to do something to fix this, and just idiocracy of like I was mentioning earlier too. People think that they're special and not gonna happen to them, and they're gonna live out their lives and their children are still going to have their school, but just in their, just their town or whatever. So dumb. People really can't wrap their head around. It's all one planet. And that's really sad. It's really disgusting how fucking dumb people have become. It's just, and that's why I can't fucking function in outside of my home, because I'm dealing with these morons who, like, my coworker today, she's like watching these videos of people that have war are running from the bounty hunters, So there's bounty hunter videos, and she's laughing like, get him, get him, get him. I'm like, dude, I can't stand to watch, people being hounded by the government. They're probably not even criminals to begin with, and even if they are, let's go after the real criminals, the fucking, white collar. But no, we don't think like that. We always think about, the poor criminals. Those are the ones that are dangerous. And those are the ones we got to watch out for, and the white collar criminals. Hell, most people probably have a poster of them on their wall or something, or have their book. What a fucking population we live amongst. And it's just, thanks, Revolution. Yeah, it's dude, it's such a bummer, man. It's such a bummer. And you know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm bummed that Justin and I had fallen out, but he's really sticking hard. Yeah, and making it's not a decisive thing for me. I don't care if you want to say that, you're an asshole if you say that people shouldn't have kids. I think I think those people are selfish and ridiculous, and I want to punch them in the face, but I'm not violent, so I don't do that. Um, but the that side is like, no shame, no blame. And you know what? How fucking comatose do you have to be to see that it's bad? It's really bad. It's not going to get better ever. It's only going to get way worse. It's just, it's so, I can't get along with that. I can't go for that. And if I hear only love remains one more time, I might just take the gun to myself. I don't, it's just, no, only chaos and war and bullshit and, fighting amongst each other. That's all that remains, because people are just, they're just fucked. You know, money, we're just programmed at this point. We're so programmed to make money. That's all we are, is just money making zombies. Oh, it's it's there's no fucking life in that, right? No fucking life at all in that. Um, and I mean, I've always felt like that way, but it used to not be as bad, right? Now it's just fucking tenfold how ridiculous and and shitty everything has gotten. Everything's just so fucking deteriorated because I mean, we're literally at the end. Um, and everybody's blaming each other for whether it's right or wrong. It's uh, and that, again, that's kind of why I just had to get away from the groups and stuff. And unfortunately, Justin doesn't agree with and I'm sure half or more people don't agree with what I say. That's even in the NTHE awareness. But like Tammy and I were talking last night. I'm very passionate about what I believe in, and I stick to my guns. And I do like to be shown that I'm wrong, because if I can be shown that I'm wrong, I will make that change and all that. But there's a certain person that I really like to have on the show to do interview, and he brings a lot. He's brought a lot to the channel when he's been on, and he doesn't like the title when Justin and I do the live streams on Fridays. It's called Drunk, Stoned, and Scared, because allegedly, this is allegedly, not factually, but allegedly, Justin and I might like to have a drink and have a smoke, allegedly. And hey, drunk, stoned, and scared just sounded really, you know, catchy and kind of fun. And I have this one person that will not come on the show anymore because he doesn't like the drunk, stoned, and scared. And it's like, well, when we have a guest, we name it, to, to honor the guest, and it's not necessarily drunk, stoned, and scared. Uh, and that person said, "I'm not scared. Having lived a full life, I'm not scared." And I'm just like, dude, everybody, almost everybody that knows this shit is scared. You know? Hey, Billy, what's up, man? Thanks for joining. Yeah, is that scotch or scotch? Is that whiskey?
Cheers.
Or
Cheers, pal.
cheers, man. Thanks for joining the Zoom. I was getting kind of tired of just rambling, and I was afraid I was going to say something dumber and get myself in more trouble.
I need to do something here, Joey. I need to. I'm getting some feedback here. I must still be on YouTube. I don't know. I was getting a bit. I need to,
Okay, yeah, you may want to exit out of the YouTube away.
okay,
And
I'll
just
try and do that without coming out of this Zoom meeting. I don't know how to do things. I know you were. I thought I'd better help you out.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have you. How are you doing, man? How's everything going?
Right. I think I'm out of fucking the YouTube now. Right, Joey. I think I'm. There's no feedback now. It's not. It was duplicating a wee bit because it was on YouTube and on the Zoom. Anyway, Joey, I'm here.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Why not? Why not
Yeah.
get involved? Time is short.
Yeah, I know. I don't even have enough time yet to grow another tooth. We're almost out of here.
Hey, they're false. They're not even real. The front four. They're falsers, man.
Yeah, they look good, man.
It's dark. It's dark. Wait up. I should get some
Yeah.
more light. Wait a minute. I'm going to put a bigger light on. Wait a minute.
White as can be on my end, so
Yeah.
it looks like you brushed too. You damn brushers. Yeah, look at all these toothbrushers out here. What are you guys thinking brushing your teeth? It's over with. You don't have to do that shit anymore. I haven't showered since 1995.
Is that better,
So, Billy, how did you come into this information?
What about from Guy and for the whole situation?
Yeah.
I'll tell you the whole story, right? I was anti-Facebook and I wasn't involved in that kind of stuff, but I was involved in trying to waking people up about Fukushima, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the whole situation after the tsunami there, and the biggest media cover up probably before the global warming one, which we're seeing now. And I got involved with Kevin Hester through that, and Kevin kind of caught my eye with stuff he was showing people, and I was following Kevin through Facebook and things, and Kevin woke me up to Guy McPherson. And
It's cool you found. It's cool you found Kevin first, because usually most people find Guy, and then they find Kevin.
Kevin caught my eye with his whole his Irish background. He caught me. I'm Scottish and I'm over the border, what's over the water from Ireland, and I know the whole history there about the IRA and about how the English treated the Irish, and so I knew Kevin's background there, and I got what he was on about there, and he's the fighter for the oppressed, Kevin.
Yeah, man.
He's the bullied and the oppressed. He fights for.
Yeah.
But no, he woke me up to Guy stuff, and it's once you get your head around about that shit, and it's hard. to accept it. It's heavy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
And I
What,
can't. So on you go, Joey. On you go.
where was your mind, that when you found the information from Kevin that allowed you to accept and go, oh yeah, this is real, rather than, most people will go, oh, that guy's kooky, he's full of shit, and this is all bullshit, everything's fine, right? What was your mindset that made you that understand how real, and in the
I,
moment?
li- I live in the world of factual information, Joey. Right? I live in a world where I see governments lying to us every minute of the day.
Yeah.
Right? I've seen the biggest cover up in the Fukushima situation. Right? I saw there's a guy called Kevin Blanche, who was the first guy really who got me involved with Kevin Hester through Kevin Blanche. Kevin Hester was a Facebook friend of his, and
Okay.
Kevin Blanche was a big activist and guy. He called out the Fukushima cover up right from day one. What they would do, the media machine would kick in, and
Mm-hmm.
and as it did, he was. But again, he got ridiculed, Kevin Blanche, and
Sure.
right. I've seen the same happen with McPherson, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
When you're bringing real information to the fore that they don't want let loose, they ridicule you. They will try and make you look black, and
Oh yeah.
So and then I seen that happen with Guy. He was getting some heavy stuff was happening to him, and I
Sure.
thought, well, here we go again. I've seen it before,
Yeah.
The truth tellers always get the media machine,
Yeah.
the puppet masters who control the whole show. They just pull the dirty trick department. I want him ridiculed. I want him looking stupid. I want him. It's I've seen it over and over with different things, and
Yeah.
you see it yourself, Joey. So when I seen that, and I looked, I knew we were fucked anyway. I knew we were throwing glyphosate and Roundup at the world. The topsoil was disappearing. We were. There's a lot of other shit, Joey, before. Uh, a lot of heavy shit I was thinking about before. I was thinking about really heavy shit, right?
I know it
Right.
just got heavier.
Yeah. What do you think I said? Because do you know what I'm saying, Joey? Can that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm 80. You talk about the topsoil. This was years ago. I forget the year, but it's not even like last month's news. But 83% of earthworms disappearing, going extinct. And that's from like, I don't know, maybe 5 or more years ago that was discovered.
No, you don't get the same amount of crows and seagulls following the plough now because there's nothing much for them on the plough to throw up for them.
Yeah.
We've destroyed it. We've fucked it.
Yeah.
It's like I say, Joey. I opened up saying I live in the factual world. I deal in facts, and but people are living in a fucking la la land. La 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 la
Oh
la.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't want to hear truths, facts, anything that spoil their wee lovely world of debt, of having vehicles in a driveway that they can't. As long as they keep the payments going, they can have this lifestyle that makes their neighbours think they're looking good. It's a fucking facade of craziness.
Yeah. It is, man. It's hard to wrap your head around, right? Because there's so much going on, and for especially like the last year, I've been like, how in the hell can it not get? How in the hell can it get? How in the hell are we still alive? And even as it's getting worse, we're still alive. Even a year later than last year.
But
I thought for sure with COVID there was going to be enough shutdowns that we would experience global dimming, and luckily we avoided that for the most part. But the shutdowns are still, Delta's taken off, and the Delta variant's taken off from what I'm hearing and seeing, and of course we know we've only got maybe a month or two of ice left, and when that shit goes, dude, it's fucking game over, right? I mean, that's going to be pretty immediate. And then, and there's talk about aliens too. People, I mean, I don't know much
Distraction,
about aliens.
distraction, Joey, distraction. They're bringing the
Oh,
distractions out when things get hot. I'm on hot. I'm on hot in two levels. Hot and people learning the truth, and hot as in actual hot, right? When things get a bit close to the bone for people finding out about the truth, the media machine kicks in, and then they bring the distraction stories out.
mhm.
Aliens. Don't look at the aliens. Don't look at the fucking people dying in Canada. Look at the aliens.
Yeah,
You see it, Joey. It's fucking it's coming. I can see it right. It's so easy to see when there's heavy shit happening on planet Earth. They
yeah,
try and guide you away from it and bring a distraction to the fore.
yeah,
Am I far away, Joey? I don't know. I'm just one man living in a wee village in Scotland who
yeah.
has no allies here in the thoughts I've got. I think they think I'm crazy if I bring up what we both know about the ice melting in the Arctic is going to cause the climate chaos. People can't get their wee heads around about that. It's
Yeah,
quite. I'm quite isolated in my thoughts here.
they think it's way up there, it's far away, it doesn't affect me. They can't
Joey,
wrap their heads around this is one planet, it's all connected. And
Joey,
yeah,
Joey. Even if it was far away, right? Even if it was what they say the 2100, whatever that year is, right? They're still not starting now. They're still not even starting. It's only 90 years away. They're still not even making an attempt to start now to clean their act up. So they live in a world of media mayhem and bloody movies and Hollywood and shit. It's a facade of normality. I tell you what, I started looking at before even looking at Fukushima. I was looking at the whole banking system. That's what I was investigating and looking into
oh yeah,
before the Fukushima happened. And
yeah,
the whole facade of normality there, the whole corrupt fucking nonsense. They're going about America, UK being one of the sole richest nations in the world. We're all banana republics living on printed money out of fresh air.
yeah,
It's insane how they're getting away with it.
hmm
Joey,
yeah.
you need
They're
to start.
just doing that to try to keep everything going. So because the elites, right, they know about global warming, right? So they know that if money totally stops, that it's time they got to run to their bunkers, because for one, people are going to come after them, and two, things are going to get really hot really quick. The general
Joey,
public doesn't know that.
Joey, do you think, right? Let's talk fucking sense here, right? Let's talk facts. Do you think the elites, right, don't know what you and Guy McPherson know,
Oh, right. Yeah, they know even more because
right?
they have,
They know, They know, right?
yeah,
That's why, right? I've got theories. Right, and we could go into COVID and variations of what. And I know you don't go down the man-made virus road, Joey, or
right. Yeah.
Mr. McPherson does. You don't go down that road, eh? But if you're a thinking man and you think, well, I mean, there's going to be chaos, right? If the banking system was going to fold, it was going to collapse in 2007, right?
Yeah.
And if printing the money out of fresh air then and lowered interest rates to negative nearly, right? To keep that going, to keep the facade of normality going, because if it folded, it'd be chaos. It'd be eating people on the streets, right? Right?
Yeah.
No, it's a fact. We can't run away
Yep.
from that one. It'd be Soylent Green without the cooking of it, right? But
I know. Think about the people that live in cities and all those buildings when the water stops. Where are they going to take a shit? They're going to have to
no,
like go outside. Like their
no,
toilets are going to be full of shit. And they're going to realize, oh, why won't it work? And then they're going to have to start taking shits like outside of the door, on the walkway and in the streets and like
Oh,
it's just gonna like where are all those millions of people gonna go?
I think
just
I
to
think
take a
doing
shit?
I think doing a shit will be the least of their troubles, Joey.
Right. Yeah.
You want to be
I'm just
honest
trying
with
to
you.
think I'm
I think
trying to
you're,
think of
I
the
know you're
shitty
thinking this
things.
scenario. I think about eating their pet cats could be the biggest priority, you know, and
Oh yeah. Yeah,
uh,
eating their eating babies. I mean, like people
it's
turn on
happened in
any
history.
other
It's happened in
subject.
history, Joey. I've read about Red Indians and things like that. You know, that's happened in history. When things get a bad winter, people get desperate. That's in nature, you know, back in the day. No, it's
Yeah, we know that through history, right? Because
yeah,
things have been dire before. It just they weren't so dire that the planet was it was dying.
no, but so right, so these people, I call them the puppet masters. The people run the show. They know what you know, and they know what Guy McPherson knows, and I know, and Kevin Hester knows, and etc. And a lot of people know,
Yeah.
right? So they know there's going to be chaos coming ahead, right? They know it was for me, right? And you can just, I'm not saying yes or no to anything, right? But I'm just putting scenarios out there, right? If you were a puppet master, right, who was wanting to try and avoid mayhem during a time when mayhem could break loose, you could invent a virus, right? And I'm not wanting arguments here, Joey. I'm not looking for arguments on this sake. I'm just looking to try and put my point of view across. We know that these people have the dirty tricks departments that can spread disinformation around the world. Obviously, they're subduing the very right. These people are subduing the very fact that the world's going to the Arctic ice is going to melt soon. Right? They're not letting the public know that, are they?
Right.
Right?
Very
These people, they've got
fairly
the knowledge,
unaware.
right? Right. So they've got the knowledge of that, but they're subduing it. They're not letting the mainstream media tell the people this, are they? Can you see where I'm coming from, Joey?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So why are they doing that?
Yep. They don't want, they don't want people
They
to
don't want
know.
chaos.
There's
They don't
not
want
very many
chaos.
people that know. They got to keep the thing, the engine, going, keep on,
Mm-hmm.
doing the capitalism thing. And because as soon as that stops, that's when, they have to run to their bunkers and they know it's
No,
like
aye.
for
They don't
them.
want the pitchforks and burn the torches out, do they? They don't want the pitchforks and burn the torches out now, right?
Mhm.
That's what they're trying to avoid, right? That's what they're trying to avoid all the time, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
pitchforks and burning torches, right? So they keep, you see, their print money, create fear. They've got tools in their toolbox to keep the great unwashed pacified, right?
Yeah.
For 5 minutes longer. It's only for months increments at a time until somebody else happens and invent a new chaos, or they can bring in our twin towers down. They can do anything, Joey, man. They're fucking powerful bastards.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Joey.
I mean, they have nuclear, bombs that can blow up a planet hundreds of times over.
I know,
That's
I
like
know. They
it's
could create
insane.
some chaos. Tomorrow they could create some chaos out of. They've got. They'll have a list of things they can probably do. Right. We've done the 9/11 Twin Towers. Right. That's in the past. Right. We brought out. I'm saying COVID. Right. You argue the point that it's not a man-made thing. I'm saying it could well be. It might not be. But it's not implausible for these fucking crazy bastards to do this shit in us, to bring a. What you ask yourself, right? Why does President Putin, right, who knows fine well 9/11 was not done by a couple of Muslims with 5 minutes training in a biplane, right?
Yeah.
Putin knows that. So does the president of fucking China knows that, right? Why did they not call America out and say, we know, we know that was bullshit, right? Why
Yeah.
did they not do it?
I know it blows my mind that people to this day still don't see through the 9/11 bullshit. And even people that maybe kind of did back then, it's like they
They
completely
forgot. They
forgot
forgot
about.
about it. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, and now, and they go right back to, gotta support my country, support these wars, support my government, support my
Fly
peace.
that fucking flag. Eh?
This flag is the most important thing in my life. It keeps me alive. Woo! So stupid. We're like, you know, and you try
Oh,
to explain that to somebody, and they're just like, "You're not a patriot. Get the fuck out.
oh,
Go to another country."
aye.
What kind of answer is that? No, we should, if when we still had time, we could have fixed things, here at least for the little bit amount of time that we had left, and prolonged, our extinction by slowing things down. But no, we just, you know, bigger, better, faster, and that's what blows me away by all these people that don't get it and go, oh, we need to do this. Even, I'm so over the Mirrors Project at this point, because for one, it's not ever going to happen. And two, and even God knows, he admits, like, yeah, it's not a savior. It's just buys us a little bit of time. And, if for people that want that kind of time and this kind of a dystopian world, have at it, man. 'Cause
What's the
this,
Muse project, Joey? What's the Muse project? I don't know it.
Dr. Ye Tao, out of UC Berkeley, has got a plan to put mirrors in the Arctic to ocean to reflect the sunlight, to try to recool the water, try to get the ice to keep from melting completely.
Sorry, Joe. Sorry, Joey. I'm fucking laughing a wee bit. Sorry.
I know.
How long will this take to get in place?
I'm sorry.
How long
What
will
was
this,
that?
how long will this project take to really get in place? How long will this project take?
Well, with the right amount of money, and it's not a whole lot of money. I forget what it is, but it's totally financially doable and physically doable. It's actually not a bad plan, but um, it'll never. Humanity will not take that step. Maybe on an individual basis, some people will recognize, like, oh, that's a good idea. That might help, but for the most part, no, it's just not. It's not going to happen. And at this point, we only have a couple months left of ice, it looks like, anyway. So it's definitely not going to happen now.
No.
And even if it did, it wouldn't be in time. So
We're
I mean,
we might scrape through this summer and have a wee refreeze.
yeah,
I've openly said before. I mean, I think Scotland is going to be the last bastion of coolness, and New Zealand. I think Kevin's. Have you ever read On the Beach? You've ever read On the
yeah.
Beach? No.
The latest one, I watched that. A friend turned me on to it, and
On the Beach
that was pretty
is
cool.
On the Beach is written by Nipple Schultz, the original book. Have you read that? No.
Oh no, I'm kind of dumb. I'm not a book reader.
Well, it's about a big nuclear exchange, in the
Yeah,
1950, I don't know, 1930s or whatever. I can't remember, but it's a bit of fiction about a nuclear exchange, and the radiation is creeping down and
yeah,
down and down. And this he's in Australia in a submarine, but he's landed in Australia, and now he's waiting for the radiation to come down. And he's just waiting for. It's just a waiting game. It's like now. It's like now. It's a waiting game.
yeah. It
And
feels
you can
exactly
see,
like where we're at now, right?
aye, it's something. And there's another book I would recommend, The Death of Grass. And Revolution knows it. I'd recommend it to her, and she read it and gave it a good review. The Death of Grass, written in the 1950s, it's about a virus that attacks the rice plantations in China. I don't think it was maybe a viral attack from the West, right? But it's on about the death of it affected rice, right? And then all grasses, and it came back to the Europe and America. It affected all grasses. It come back and bite them in the bum, if it was a viral attack. I can't remember the full thing of the book, but there was refugees coming over
Yeah,
from these areas, and us in the West were just bombing them. you know, we don't want them here. We've not got enough food. We just bomb them out of the sea. And it was just the way I see things panning out now. I can see things panning out the same way. And it's going to be refugees. There's going to be chaos. There's going to be people looking for water and crops and food. and it's going to be chaos. I don't know if I'm making sense to you at all, Joey, at all tonight.
Yeah,
What's the
no,
comment saying? What's the comment saying, Joey? I don't know. I can't see them.
yeah. So I was going to point out something that Joanne said too. I just saw this. She says the elites are going to live large at our. I'm sorry, my cursor skipped. That wasn't the idea. Is she's addressing you, Scott, or sorry, she's addressing Scott. The idea is that the media will push aliens are real and they are dangerous as a distraction. And yeah, I think we're seeing some signs of that. They're and the thing about it is if the aliens were dangerous, we wouldn't still be here, right? So, so that's what I really love about whether you're believe in aliens or not, and I kind of do. I've never seen them for myself, but I've met and seen enough information and known people that have good information, including some stuff that Guy and Pauline told me that is, like Guy won't really talk about it. I've asked him about it. He won't really talk about it publicly because he's like, he doesn't want to be called a conspiracy theorist because he hasn't seen them personally. I can respect that. I can totally respect that. But they have a friend who's used to work at NASA, and I forget her name, but I looked her up, and she's legit. And her job was to protect aliens from the United States government because NASA knows there's aliens, and they don't want they don't want the government to hurt them or murder them because they're not here. They're whatever they're here
They're
for.
observing. They're observing. Just
whatever they're here for is, we have something that they need, some kind of element or something. And what blows my mind is how did they get so advanced that they didn't implode on themselves and cause their own extinction, right? Because obviously humans might be smart enough to actually do, space travel and all kind of really cool things. I don't know if that's really cool or not. That's probably objective, but we definitely won't ever figure out that much more than the internet because we're too destructive. So we'll never, we'll destroy our habitat as we basically already have before we evolve into something that that doesn't kill its house. If that makes sense.
Joey,
Yeah.
I don't know what the comment. I can't see the comments, right? I don't know if anybody's arguing with me or agreeing with me what I'm saying. Do you think I'm making sense so far, Joey? Sorry, I come in out of the blue here with a wee whiskey in my hand.
No, I appreciate. I love what you're saying. You're absolutely spot on. And I appreciate you coming on, and because I think it takes a lot of
Well, I seen you were struggling, Joey. You were lonely there. I thought you needed a bit of help, eh?
Absolutely, yeah.
And I thought, hey, why not?
I didn't want to just say hi for 15 minutes. Hi, how y'all doing?
I know. Well, why does nobody else jump in then? We've got months to go, eh? Why not?
Yeah,
why not? Anyway, Joey.
That's a good point. I'll post the link again in the chat, and maybe some other folks will join in too. And I appreciate you joining in because
join the gang. It's only a video thing, isn't it? We're just putting the world to rights.
And everybody.
Now, Joey, again, I'll go back to the basics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I deal in facts, right? And realness, eh?
Sure.
And you've got to say, right, that the reason we're in this predicament, right, is because the planet Earth has not got the carrying capacity for 8 billion people.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the bottom line. That's really is the bottom line, eh? And then there's people we've been given, right? And I feel like people in nature about us last about this. I'm not frightened to say my piece. I'm not one for following the trend. I'd like to speak my mind, eh? Right. There's people. Oh, there'll be a virus will come. Mother Nature will fight back, and the virus came. People wearing the masks and they're fighting it. Should bring it on. Let it take the weak and the vulnerable. That's what it was there for. This virus comes along to weed out the populace. You know, it's Mother Nature's way. Then I get people in nature bats last saying, "Oh, Billy, what if your mum gets it?" And that. I says, "Well, mum's got terminal cancer. She's in the way out anyway." But she, it's, you know, it's you can't have it both ways. You can't say overpopulation has really destroyed this planet, then run away and try and hide from a Mother Nature's remedy. Is that can it make sense to you at all, Joey?
Absolutely, because that's the thing that blows me away by people that think that we're going to still, that the planet will hold out for 2030, 2050, 2100, is because we're going to continue to grow, overpopulate.
We're not, Joey. We're not, Joey. I
And
said
there was no way that we could keep continuing to overpopulate and still have a livable planet. It's physically impossible
even
for that
without
to happen.
even without the climate chaos, I think the rate we were destroying the topsoil and throwing chemicals at
Oh yeah,
soil to try and make it productive, the aquifers drying up. You know, overpopulation in India. India's aquifers are down to near zero. They've only got
Yeah.
sewage and some toxins in the bottom of these aquifers. It just needs one of them just to totally dry up, and it's like I said last week. You just need one of these wildfires to catch a corner of a city. You know, in America, I'm on about now. One of these wildfires to catch a corner of a city, and the wind's going the wrong way, it'll blow through them. It's going to happen. It will happen.
Yeah.
We just need one of these aquifers in India to fail, and you got millions of people in drought dying. You know, these things are just time bombs waiting to happen.
Yeah, and I live on the East Coast in America, so because that's over on the west side, it's over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's never going to happen here. It's fine. It's so stupid. We're totally fine, and we're always going to be fine because that's just going to happen over there. It's insane, man. It's
Joey.
totally insane. And because I live on the East Coast where things are, we haven't had, we haven't had the fires, we haven't had the droughts and the heat that's like been going on out west. I'm watching my home value just fucking go. I'm like, holy shit, this, because people are all excited. They're like, my home value is fucking skyrocketing. This is great. Oh, I love it. No, dude, no. Everybody is coming this way because they're being pushed out, right?
Joey, right? Then the great unwashed will head in your way. The masses will head in your way that are burnt out.
Yeah.
And your double the value home will be run over by pitchforks and burning torches and Mad Max scenarios.
Exactly.
So you think you're safe someplace, but if one place is struggling, they'll just jump in their pickup trucks and.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the very simple form of basic humanity. If one person isn't free, then none of us are free, right? And you take that to all the levels of global collapse, and you can kind of realize yeah, we're probably all fucked really quickly right now, right? It's just madhouse.
I tell you what I do, Joey, right? I tell you what I do, right? I live in a fucking beautiful place, right? I live in rural south of Scotland, right? I look into sheep in the fields next to me. I worked hard to get what I've got, right? And I'm privileged, but I didn't get it for nothing, It cost me hours of my life, to get here,
right?
But I just see now. I just didn't get angry by anything anymore. I just accept. I don't get angry. I don't fight folk. I just, okay, right. That's what you think. You think that. I just go on with life,
Yeah.
I'm beyond getting angry with people about things. I try and tell people, look, if you get some person, maybe you think I might try and tell this guy about the climate chaos coming ahead, or this girl or this lady. I've got through to one recently, but it's hard to pick your subjects, because there's no many want to listen,
Oh yeah, yeah. And the minute you say something, that usually people retort something so retarded back that it's just like, okay, this is somebody I definitely am not gonna. We're not gonna connect.
No,
Because it's just like when I mentioned to my mom a couple of years ago or a year ago, I was like, Mom, the fucking ice is melting. Because we almost had a BOE last year. She's like, well, Joey, what are you gonna do when the ice melts and nothing happens? Nothing changes. And I was just like, how are you dumb enough to even think
think that could happen.
that is a fucking thing that could happen? That's people. That's my entire family. That's my blood family.
You don't. People are trying. I just try to tell people now. The equilibrium between the cold and the hot. It's fucking. Do it in the common sense. The cold at the top, the hot in the middle, and more cold at the bottom. But we'll talk about the northern hemisphere, right? There's hot. The equator. There's ice, and for millennia it's been kept in that equilibrium because everything's been stable.
Yeah.
Only in the last 300 years that things have went. It's it's if you put it in the basics, it's quite easy to understand.
Yeah, it really is. It's really, and that's the thing, and that's one thing that especially Guy is really good about teaching, that even for somebody that doesn't get it, he breaks it down really simply, right? And that's important because like he even mentioned once, it just made me laugh. He's like, I have to remind myself that people don't realize that they're animals, that they need habitat. They think that people are separate. People think that they're separate from animals, right? That's stupid. and that's when you realize, how dumb the population is. The populace is, and fellow citizens. It's like, well, how again, how are we even still here? We're special because we can we can invent shit.
Hey, that's when you Joey. That's when you get the people, and I know you don't go for it, and I don't go for it. You get Jesus coming back to save us.
Yeah.
Jesus coming back to fucking save us, for fuck's sake.
I know. It's all in Jesus' hands. When people say that, that's another thing. That's always a comeback. It's all in God's hands. I'm just like, are you? I just want to punch him. Like, just wake the fuck up, you idiot.
They might see it, especially Americans. These Americans, you're the fucking worst for it, you fuckers.
You need to have a war with Santa Claus and Jesus. They fight each other to the death over which one is real. That'd be fucking brilliant. I'd pay to watch that on pay-per-view.
No, it's insane, how this facade of this book of fiction is brainwashed these so many people. They can't wait to get their way to the Garden of Eden.
Yeah,
and die. No. They've got the Garden of Eden here. They won't even look after it. The Garden of Eden is on their fucking under their feet. Sorry, Julie, I get a wee bit carried away at times. Am I coming across okay here?
Yeah, absolutely. You're a little bit hard to hear.
I do talk fast. I do talk a bit fast, Joey. Sorry,
but no, I can hear you. I have to really pay attention. There's a lot of stuff that I might miss, but collectively, because I'm really focused on what you're saying, I'm able to, even when I can't make out word for word, I'm able to make out the generalization of what you're saying. And
it's a Scottish dialect, and we do talk quite fast over here.
Yeah.
Just want to get a bit excited.
And I love your accent. It's fucking rad. So,
Well, you must be of an Irish origin, Joey. Are you? Your name?
Yeah. I'm Southern Irish, so I can talk like this, even though I'm Irish. But I can also talk like I'm
What
like I
county did he
grew
come
up in-
from, Joey? What county were he from? What county in Ireland? Do you know?
Tammy's gonna.
Hey,
He
Tommy.
likes to make fun of me a lot.
No.
I'm straight freaking Southern from Middle Georgia in the U.S. and he likes to make fun of me a lot.
She's so country. Her parents were related.
They were not.
Hey,
They
I
had the
don't
same
think-
last name,
After they got
just
married.
like
jackass.
us.
hey, but Tommy, is it Tommy? Is it Tommy?
Yeah.
Tommy.
Tam-
Yeah,
You had to come
Tammy.
from Tommy. You had to come from somewhere first. You weren't born in America. Your forefathers weren't. You had to come from
No,
Europe.
there is Irish and Scottish and English I know of.
Ah,
My
well, it's not a bad pedigree, apart from the English.
and my mother's mother was a cook, and well, there's one of my there's McCraney and Cook, and I can't remember.
You said was a cook. I thought you meant it's a profession.
No, I mean, her surname is Cook.
Mhm.
I got
That's,
Cook,
a,
McCraney, and
that's
Turner.
it's an English name. Cook. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's
but-
McCraney, Turner, and Hart.
I mean, the real Americans were really invaded by the Europeans. I mean, again, I'm dealing with facts, Joey, right here. I'd like to deal with facts.
Sure.
Us Europeans destroyed America. Us Europeans.
Oh, yeah.
We went to America and we destroyed it. You know, the Native Americans were doing okay before we went along.
Yeah. Much better before we came along. I mean, and look at it. Look at how today white people in America, they look at Native Americans as foreigners. They think that seriously, this is how dumb. This is how dumb this country is. It's how racist this country is. Well, for one, so Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States, right? So but everybody in America thinks Puerto Ricans are foreigners, and they're taking our land and absorbing our resources and money, and we're it's so dumb. It's so dumb. A couple of years ago, I almost got in a bar fight. Just having a beer and having a burger, and just bullshitting, and just all of a sudden, it came up about Native Americans and all that, and these guys were diehard Trumpers and racist, and when I was like, dude, the people that you think are stealing your jobs and stealing your land and shit are people who are actually fucking native. They're not illegals. Like, no one is illegal on stolen land, right? And dude, they got pissed. And luckily I was finishing my last bite of my burger, my last drink of my drink, and then the bartender. And I always tip well. If I go out, I don't go out unless I can take care of my server, because I know they make fucking $2 an hour, and that's bullshit.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to put somebody to work if I can't pay the bill, right? And he goes, "What, you shouldn't talk politics." And I was like, this isn't fucking politics. This is fucking real life. This isn't talking about, no, we need to spend X amount of money on the roads, and then we can spend X amount of money on other infrastructure. That's politics. Fucking human rights is not goddamn politics, right? And I didn't tip her. I paid the bill, and I didn't even tip her. And I don't think I've ever not tipped.
Well, she deserved it. You treat people that, if somebody's nice to you and you treat them nice, and vice versa.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So that's the way it is.
He was a Trumper. They were locals. We were from out of town. We were actually at a nature preserve, nature facility, and right outside of the facility was this little restaurant on the side of the road. And we're like, oh, we're hungry. We've been going out in the woods all day and rafting or kayaking, and and they had a zoo there, so we checking out the zoo, and it was a whole crew of us. So yeah, it was like really.
It sounds like a remake of that film with the banjo player. You know that one with the banjo man?
Oh, right.
Deliverance.
That's where we were.
It sounds like a remake of that film.
That's exactly. We were. I think that was in Tennessee, but we were in that same part of Tennessee, but in southern Georgia around Albany. And it was actually called oh, what was the name? Do you remember the name of that picture place in Albany that we went to? Cheehaw. Yeah, Cheehaw was the name of the place. Really cool place, man. Tammy got to feed a rhino. They let her hand feed a fucking rhino. That was cool.
My hand was just inside of a rhinoceros mouth. It was inside of a mouth of a rhinoceros.
No, but going back to, I mean, with device far from the subject we usually talk about, and which is a good thing, because you got to get distract yourself a wee bit sometimes and have a wee bit of. But I mean, if you go back into history, and again, the facts, us Europeans, right, we went everywhere and destroyed it. India, look in Australia, America, South America, everywhere we went, the East India Company in India, the Hudson Bay Company in Canada, we've killed millions of wee animals for their furs, in Hudson Bay Company times,
Yeah.
Everywhere we went, we've destroyed cultures, we've interbred with them, we've, just totally indigenous people, we've destroyed them, under land, under soil, under beliefs. We give them Christianity. We went with the fucking Bible.
Hit them upside the head with a Bible. Slap some Bible in them. Oh,
I mean, that's the beginning. Is that not going to be the origins of all this? What we're seeing now, the end games. All started 500 years ago, when the Europeans invaded all these lands, deforested lands. It was the start of before the Industrial Revolution. There was mass deforestations of lands and for agriculture, and that just started the whole show really before the steam engine was ever built. Sorry, Joey. I'll go on with your rants, Joey, but I mean, I'm just trying.
Yeah, no apologies, man. Yeah, you have nothing to apologize about.
How's the comments going, Joey? Is there any positiveness there?
Oh yeah, let me check. Yeah, Joanne says mirrors is hopium. I have to definitely agree. Yeah, Deliverance. We were talking about Deliverance, and I couldn't remember the name of the movie, but yeah, Revolution reminded me of the name that we were talking about, and something that you said earlier too about. I wanted to bring up, just about how we just destroy everything.
Joey, can you give me 2 minutes first? I've got to get one meal last whiskey before I go. This is my last nightcap, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, and I'll just say to you guys what I was thinking of. What brought my, triggered my memory whenever we are bombing a country, and they don't show it as much now, but especially during the post 9/11 Iraq. Remember they just fucking showed the bombs shooting off in Iraq, and people were so happy. They were like, it was like watching fireworks, even though there was people dying, and those people aren't the people that blew up those buildings, but just because we're so stupid, that we're just like, ooh, yeah, America, fuck them, kill them all, blow them back to the Stone Age. Even George Bush said, we're going to bomb Iraq back to the Stone Age. What a shitty country that you live in if that's the goal of your government, is to completely bomb another country back into the Stone Age. Everybody was just gung ho, man. Like, ooh. Oh, it's just sad. And I knew right then too, that was another turning point for me. I was like, man, I really hope that 9/11 would make people wake up and, wow, this is all bullshit. We need to stand up and fight for each other, not against each other. But no, everything went the wrong way. Humanity went the wrong way, and they believed the system and the media and the lies and Fox News and all that shit. And that's when I said, man, we are so done.
Fucked. Aye.
Yeah. When they said the war on terror will be a never ending war, I knew right then I was going to see the end. And it was like, which is going to happen first, the ice melt or the end? And I didn't realize as much as I do now, obviously, that it's all kind of the same race, same pace. And I love what Kevin Hester said when he was on a couple weeks ago or whatever. He said, it's not the war on terror, it's the war of terror against the people. And that was brilliant. He was absolutely right about that.
I know he's switched on. I'm of the same thought. Do you know? Joey, can I ask you what your background is?
Yeah, it's child abuse. That was my start. And
What
slavery.
you were oh, there's one of these European things.
Yeah.
No, what did were you something doing motocross or something? Motocross commentary or something? Or
Yeah,
media?
my stepdad, my mom was into bikes, married my dad who was into bikes. They didn't last at all, other than just to have me. I don't even think they were together when I was born. But she, when I was about probably 5, or no, it was before I was 5. I was probably about 3 or 4. She met someone. He was a championship racer. He wound up in the late 90s being inducted into the AMA Hall of Fame. That's the American Motorcyclist Association. He was dubbed as the first paid factory rider. He got paid by Kawasaki.
What make? What Kawasaki?
Yeah, for $100 a month, which back then $100 a month was solid money. And
was it KXs? Is that the KXs?
I think that was before KX. I don't think they had the KX brand back then. This would have been 67. He won the 500 nationals in 68 and 69. And this is so dirty. This is so dirty. He got draft papers for Vietnam, and he's a total Trumper. He's total Republican, pro-war, climate change is a hoax, all that shit. And got his draft papers and wrote deceased, sent him back, got away with it, and went out and went racing and won the 500 nationals in 1968 and 1969. And now he's a motocross legend because of what he was able to accomplish.
And what he never done was brushed under the carpet.
And they wanted to send me to the military. They were like, Joey, just join the military. I'm like, well, I don't really want to go to war. I was like, I had some common sense about me that I don't know how or why, but thankfully I did, because if I didn't, I would be really stupid and fucked up and dumb. and I'm already pretty fucking dumb anyway. But I would be a lot worse off, right? So it's just oh man, it's dumb. My parents totally enslaved me. They had a great business. They were the number one motorcycle dealership in the country for the brands they sold at the time.
Road bikes and motocross bikes.
I'm sorry?
Road bikes and motocross, or was this motocross?
Yeah, so they started out selling Mako motorcycles out of Germany was where they were made, but they would sell Mako motorcycles out of their garage at the house that I lived at with them when I was 5. And at this house, I was like, my stepdad didn't want kids, so I stayed in my room, out of sight, out of mind, because if I was not in my room, then I was in the way. I was very annoying because I was a kid. Kids, when you don't want kids and there's a kid in the house, that kind of sucks, right? It'd be like
not ideal.
If you don't like snakes and you have a snake in the house, that's that snake's probably not going to be very well loved. And I was basically a snake in the house.
Sad. That's pretty sad, Joey. I feel that's a pretty sad story. That
Oh,
How was your mum? Did your mum make up for the love? Did your mum make up for the love?
no, you know what? Christmas and birthday, I got like presents, and that was the only time there was an "I love you," and and that was kind of cool. But every other day was shit, and it was weird. It was really weird how like Christmas and birthday was just it was like opposite day. So those were always good days.
That can confuse a boy, couldn't it? It's growing up, couldn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was really dumb, and my parents are just my whole family is total narcissists. Like I don't talk to them at all, and I never will. Um, you know, it's really it's
Sorry, Joe,
like I
for bringing
said
things
earlier.
back. I used to
My
ask you.
mom, when I told her about the ice melting, she said, "What are you going to do when nothing happens?" I called her. I didn't when 9/11 or when they announced the war on terror. I was so mortified by that, like the never-ending war on terror. I didn't know who else to call, so I called my mom, and she said, "Well, don't worry about it, Joey. Don't worry about it." And she's totally on board with all the shit that war.
We're we're, we're contaminating Iraq with depleted uranium,
Yes,
causing childbirths to be, well, we're causing a lot of children to be deformed through birth, through
yes.
uranium being deployed. But it's okay, eh? It's okay. It's same with Vietnam. It's a repeat and rinse, isn't it? The media sell the story. The media, who are controlled by the puppet masters, tell the story to the great unwashed, who are mostly Bible fucking reading fucking fools, and they believe the
Yeah.
shit that the media tells them. It's a fucking cycle. It's easy for them, isn't it? It's easy for them to. I mean, how easy is it for these criminal medias controlled by these puppet masters to sell the story to the fools? It's simple. I mean, every time. Sorry, Joey, I'm talking a bit fast again.
Oh no, no, you're good, man.
Am I far
Good.
away with that, Joey? Am I far away with that summing up?
Yeah, no, yeah, man, you're spot on. You totally get it. Which I've been wanting to ask you too, more about yourself too. And now we talked a little bit about how you were able to, because you deal with facts, obviously, you're able to take in the information and not turn it away and go, "Oh, this is all bullshit," and really take it in and go, "Yeah, this is exactly what I see," right? Just like a moron picking up a Bible going, "Yeah, this is exactly how I thought."
Well, I don't.
Not that anyone has ever really done that.
Joey, I'd look at other people. Professor Peter Wadhams. Have you come across him before?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean,
um,
uh,
yeah. What is
the,
it? The
the,
end? The end of ice, or was it him that
he's
wrote the end
he's
of
he's
ice?
put a lot of stuff out there. Jason Box. I mean, I've looked. I don't just. I do my research, mate. I don't just say, "Oh, there's a man saying something really drastic. I better listen to him." I try and build a picture, and I look around, and you see the people saying similar things. Ones that not been bought by the puppet masters, and so you kind of. If Kevin Hester smells something right, I'll follow his thought, as well. He's never far away. So
Yeah, Kevin's brilliant, man.
I mean, if he wouldn't back somebody that was a fraud, put it that way.
Yeah,
So I mean, no, it's even like I said, even without the end of ice, you know, the rest of things we're doing to the planet would finish us anyway.
right.
Maybe take a bit
Yeah,
longer, Joey. It would take a bit longer. But the puppet masters have always got to keep control, keep us subdued, keep us on the back foot, and so they don't want the pitchforks coming out.
right.
That's the kind of end. That's their kind of main kind of thought. I don't know what you think about that, Joey.
No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's even, all part of global dimming too, right? Because as soon as if they shut it down and run to their bunkers, they're stuck forever, and then it's game
Oh,
over
aye.
even quicker. But
I mean,
we're already now. It's like so close. It's so close. Kevin talks a lot about nuclear winter. They could nuke the
oh,
planet to try
aye.
to create nuclear winter and cool the planet, and them down in the New Zealand in the northern or southern hemisphere, because a lot of the elites have bunkers.
Oh, they're trying. They're
They'll
a
last a
lot.
little bit longer,
Yeah.
just like
Oh,
maybe
aye.
on the
Aye.
beach, right?
They might get, like on the beach, they might get an extra 6 months and they're 10
Yeah,
peaches and they're whatever they got stocked up. But
yeah,
no, it's we're living in crazy times, and they used again, right? Go back to the Bible. The Bible used to be used as a powerful deterrent. The fear of God and the fear of the devil, and you could go down the way or up the way. And when people were less switched on to the realities, so when the new people were losing a grip on the kind of Bible fear, did they bring new fears in? Sorry, I always go back to the kind of human these things, Joey. Sorry about the control thing.
oh yeah,
And
yeah,
so once they knew that the Bible kind of shit wasn't working on the populace, the bit of bringing some different fears, some terrorism and some aliens and some shit. Sorry, Joey, I've had a couple of whiskies.
Oh man, I've drank all mine, so
Oh, I thought that's
I'm
what it was about. I've seen the highlight. Isn't it a highlight? Because it's not the headline saying whiskey and something or another.
yeah. We
Aye.
when my friend Justin comes on, we do, and it's just us, and we don't have anybody to interview. We'll just talk, and he's very scientific minded, and he's really good at bringing up the data. So he'll go through and pull up all the satellite feeds. I mean, not all, but pull
I've
up
seen some of
satellite
it.
feeds, and he's really good on that. And I hate it that I probably lost him, but he it is what it is. You know,
Joey, and I jumped in tonight. I thought, hey, Joey's on his Todd. You know what that means? It means on his own, in Scotland. It means on your own. So I thought, I've had a couple of drams. I thought, I'll just have a converse with Joey. We don't know. I've conversed a wee bit through Messenger with Joey. You know that. And I was quite concerned about your mental health actually a wee bit when you were. I watched your comments on Facebook and I seen you go up and down a wee bit. And I thought tonight, when things switched off, because he was only went for 25 seconds, then it went off. Did your first go at things
oh yeah,
tonight?
we must have had a glitch or something. I'm not sure what.
And I thought, well, hell, is he struggling at a bar? He just gave up tonight because nobody's coming to help him. so,
Oh,
so I thought that's why. Hey, that's why I
oh,
thought I'd come
okay.
in.
I was trying to figure out who you were on my social media feed. Now I know. Okay, cool. I didn't even know you were Irish living in Scotland. So,
I'm not. I'm Scottish living in Scotland.
oh, I thought you're said you were Irish. And
Scottish. I'm Billy
okay,
Johnson on Facebook.
that's cool, man. I
I'm Bill.
you know
Now you put two and two together now.
it takes me a while sometimes.
Hey,
But yeah, I can be slow like that.
aye, no worries, Joey. No
It
worries.
it doesn't help well when trying to get higher paying jobs.
Well, anyway, Joey, we've diversed a wee bit tonight. We've diversed a wee bit off the normal trend of the conversation, probably. Was that been a
Yeah.
bad thing or a good thing?
Oh yeah. It's definitely good, man. It's good hanging out. I still want to do. That's the reason this channel is the reason I didn't totally leave social media, because I wanted to. Even if I just do like 2 more shows or something, I just want to say hey to everybody that supported my channel and thank you. And and then we can go dark, but as long as as long as people keep showing up, I'll keep doing this because it's it's, I'm able to get stuff off my chest, right? And that helps me. And if anybody else, like you or anybody come on, whether it's just listening, joining the chat, or joining the Zoom, if it's helpful to even 100 people, and I can feel good about that. And
Well, I've felt quite good tonight coming on this show and just talking the things that people, God, the things I talked about tonight. If I talked about it in my village, if I got a meeting in my village hall, right, I've got a village here, maybe about
yeah, you'd be
five,
kicked out of
three,
every
four,
bar.
300, 300. No, only there's no pub anymore. There's no. It's anyway. But if I got a meeting in my wee village hall, right, and I said, right, I'm going to talk about climate change. I'm going to show you a video that Guy McPherson made, and blah de blah de blah. They would think I'm crazy, eh?
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm quite alone, eh, in my thoughts here. Eh? It's
Sure. Yeah, it is lonely. No one, even not even just knowing like climate, even just like just seeing how corrupt everything is, seeing some very basic stuff. If you call something very basic out, the cops are crooked. But if you say that to people, they're going to be like, oh, well, then don't call the cop next time you're getting robbed. Well, they just come out and do paperwork anyway. They don't fucking do anything. Like people just, my favorite thing about people who love police is if you're riding in a car with them and they get a cop behind them and they get pulled over, they're scared and they're nervous. But when that's not happening, oh, they love the police, man. Their police are there to protect them. And that blows my mind how people cannot connect the dots of like,
we're different
I,
over here, Joey. Maybe different over here. They're not bad over here. On the whole, they're not bad over here in Scotland. If you don't be a bad boy and flaunt criminality, you get go along quite nicely.
yeah,
But I mean, I've seen things in America that are a bit crazy. The police, and especially people of different colour to the policemen. And
yeah.
it's. I mean, I'm lucky. I'm lucky here. I'm very fortunate. I live in a rural area, low crime, and really, I'm insulated probably from realities of cities and things like that are in my country, and the chaos that happens in these built-up dwellings. And I'm
Yeah.
happy that I don't live in America. I'm really happy I don't live in America. I don't mean to offend any Americans, but
Oh, I do.
even Americans must fucking realise that.
That's the thing. I knew this was all coming, and this is not a place where I wanted to collapse in because of how. So
You need
I
to be
was.
back in Southern Ireland, Joey. Get back to the roots. Go back to Southern Ireland.
I would love to, and I've always tried to literally get the fuck out of here. But I've never had enough money to do that, to make the move, to get a job somewhere else and all that good stuff. But every time I would talk about it, people would just say, well, we'll move. We'll just move. Like it's that easy, right? It's just that easy. And then people would say, I'll pay for you to move. I'll pay your move. I'm like, really? Thank you. That would be awesome. Of course, they're full of shit and never did, right? So that's just the arrogance of people in this country and how they just blindly support such a fascist system that they don't even realize. And that's part of the whole plan, right? Is to have people so enslaved that by entertainment they think that they're free, by having 59 choices of Lucky Charms cereal. They're.
What do you mean? You mean glyphosate in a bowl?
Yeah.
Roundup in a bowl.
It's insane, right? It's just the dumbest.
You mean gut bacteria killing Roundup in the bowl? Oh, lovely, yummy.
Yeah, like literally everything here is a lie. Every phone call I get, whether it's on my cell, if it's on my cell, it's a bullshit call. It's a scam. and half the calls at work, it may be a little better now, but months ago or a year ago, almost half the calls at work were scam. It's just, it's so dumb. Like every job opportunity that you click on is a scam.
Joey, let me tell you something, right? For the last 20 years, 20 plus years, I've worked for myself. I'm a gardener, right? I go down, I cut people's lawns, cut their
Oh, cool.
hedges, right? And I do realise when I cut lawns, something's destroying. I try and, if there's any bees about, I get them out of the way, right?
Yeah,
And then I try, if I stop for insects, I stop for them, stop them more, get out of the way. And then I continue, right? That's the kind of gardener I am, right? But I mean, I work for myself. I've only, and I do okay. I don't go hungry. I do okay. But I'm mowing man, and I choose mowing hours, and I'm flexible, and I can have a long lie, and I can work later, and I'm quite content, And I work amongst nature. I see things. I see fucking birds' nests, and I see things up and down from the wee insect to the biggest creature in the sky, And, I, and, I, and I'm privileged, I live in fucking lovely part of Scotland. If you would live, I see sometimes your post, Joey, right? And, this is me finished. You get frustrated, Joey. I've noticed you. Yeah, you get frustrated. And this is me. I'm stopping media, social media.
yeah,
But if you live where I live, Joey, I know we might last a bit longer where I am. I'm in a really privileged area, right? And you'd think of things differently a wee bit. You'd last a bit longer, I think, Joey, over here. Your mindset would be better because you're amongst the elements and nature and blah de blah. Do you know what I'm trying to say, Joey? There at all?
yeah. And years ago, I would agree, but now everything's just so deteriorated that I'm so like I'm literally just I'm basically waiting for my wife to say, okay, I'm ready now, which is not going to be next week, or the week after, maybe in a couple of months, we'll see.
Have
And
you got
that's
kids,
kind of
Joey?
what
Have
that
you got
kind of
kids, Joey?
keeps
Have
me
you
going.
got kids, Joey? Have you got kids?
No,
Do you
no,
have
I
children?
I knew I knew from when because I couldn't
Mhm.
afford to feed myself for one, so I didn't want to ruin another life that didn't yet exist.
Aye.
So I no I knew from when I was I when I saw apartments at the first time I saw apartments at probably 3 to 5 years of age, I had a yard to play in, you know. I looked at apartment kids that lived in a I was like, these people live in boxes stacked on top of each other. They don't even have a yard to play in. It's like that to me is overpopulation. I didn't know the word at the time, obviously. So I was 3 to 5, but I could see the picture. I could see that, well, those kids don't have a place to play. And then those kids are gonna, if they grow up and multiply, then it's just that building is gonna get bigger and more people crammed into tighter boxes. And and I was just like, this is up. This is not cool. And nobody saw it like I saw it.
Mhm.
And that made things really easy for me to see how we were just destroying the planet and each other,
Mhm.
and and war. Like even at a very young age, I was like, I don't want to go in the military because, yeah, it's a great career, I'm told. And in 30 years, you can retire rather than, having to wait till I'm 60 or 65. But you don't live, especially if you're going to war, you know,
Mhm.
even if you make it to retirement, you're going to be so traumatized and fucked up. Right. So I wanted nothing to do with that. I wound up joining the Coast Guard because I could have a place to sleep and I wasn't going to go to war for it. So I joined the Coast Guard, and that still fucked me up because I've been to Guantanamo Bay 3 to 5 times. I don't remember. And that was back in 91, 90, 91, 92. And that when I saw, and it wasn't nearly what it is now, but even back then I was, this is just fucked up. This is horrible, you know? I took refugees to, my boat took refugees to Guantanamo Bay. One time we picked up some refugees and we took them straight to Haiti. We weren't allowed off I was very seasick too. So anytime we hit land, I wanted one off the boat because I was finally going to not feel sick and puke all the time. And that's the thing, my whole life, I've pretty much just puked.
I know it seems to be that way.
So that's why like my stress level is just, I'm tired of puking, you know? Oh, it's so fucked up. And yeah, Guantanamo Bay and not being able to get off the boat in Haiti. And you know, I have two Haitian roommates. I have rhinoceros iguanas, Cyclura cornuta.
I
They're
know
from
you're
the
very.
islands of Hispaniola. So, you know, that's special to me, you know, not just because where they're from, but it does add a little bit of an element to, you know, I know that my government destroyed their country and they're just an animal. They're just a lizard. They don't know, you know, they should hate me. You know, they've been handled out of the egg since they were born. So they're really be pretty good
Animals,
with people.
animals don't discriminate. Animals don't. They don't discriminate against things. You know, animals just want cared for. Well, they want to live in the wild, really. They want to
Yeah.
live in the natural environment, really.
Oh
But
yeah.
end of the day, if they're getting fed and water, then they're still alive. They're quite happy, I suppose. Like us humans now, eh? If we're getting fed and watered, you know, and kept in a cage, you know.
I know, and we try to do like we try to do right by them. I'll show you what our female. She's asleep right now on the couch. This is kind of funny. This is her like little burrito blanket when she wants to sleep on the couch. Well, I don't know if you can see her all tucked away in there. And you know, she has free reign of most of the house because she's super chill and super docile. Uh, and then we have a male in the other room. We have to keep them separated because he really likes her, and she's really territorial. And we don't want babies. You know, I could get $500 per baby out of those animals, minimum. I could probably get more because of how quality they are. Because they're they're tame. We would handle the babies if we had time to have babies. We would
Are they
handle.
rescue one? Are they rescue, Joey? Are they rescue animals?
No, we bought them. It was years ago when things were much better, but we did get into reptile rescue, and we did that for a little while, and then it just got much. And then I told the group, I said, hey, we're all about to perish. We need to figure out what we're going to do about our animals, and they didn't like that. So I basically just walked away from all of that because
Killed them? No.
they don't believe that either. That's the whole thing. People in conservation, these are people in conservation thinking that they're superheroes, completely denying that we're all about to go away, to die, and they're also all still breeding their animals.
It's the same. It's a continuation. It's just it's programmed in. It's programmed in. That no, it can't be true. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. You know.
It's just like being an 18-year-old and being pregnant and going, well, I'll just pretend it's not there and go away, right? And that's that. And that's part of the thing that like I've even gotten in trouble with other groups or whatever, because I have a serious anger about anybody that's still producing life, especially at this point. That really rubs me raw.
I'll
It's
reverse back.
being racist or no different than voting for Trump or not that Biden's any better, but the Republicans are definitely more worse than the Democrats. The Democrats generally, you find a Democrat here, generally you find a little bit more compassion in that person, but not much. And that's about as good as it gets. Just a little bit, not quite as, just a little more compassion. And in a, you know,
They say, but it's the old, as I've said, Joey, when your man, what's his face, Biden got in, it's a classic case of good cop, bad cop. You know, that's the way it was. And it's just, you know, it's the people have been played so fucking easily.
yeah.
We'll put the bad cop in for 4 years, and they'll love anybody that comes next. You know, and as for your man before Trump, the black fella, what do you call Obama? He was the biggest puppet of all, man. That one, he was.
I
You
know.
know, it's insane. Who gets chosen to be put in that post? You know, but no, I'll talk about myself a wee bit, Joey. I mean, I've got 3 children, and but the way you painted your picture of your upbringing in the kind of box compartment. We grew up in a really rural area, and we never saw the containment of apartments and bloody blah. We were lucky to live in the rural Scotland. So we have 3 children, and they don't know the predicament.
Yeah.
Nobody does, but they're
Yeah.
living their lives and they're enjoying life, and just say go and enjoy life, and because things might not be so easy later on in life.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, and I feel like I've gotten to, I've gotten to, get my best years. Like I'm really fortunate. I feel really fortunate that I got to grow to this old age, not that I'm old and should naturally die soon.
What age are you, Joey? Can I ask your age?
I'm sorry?
What age are you, Joey?
48. And I'll be 49 in a couple of months if we're still here.
Might scrape in.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 54. 54.
Yeah. I feel like we got lucky because we got to experience the planet and life in a better time, and we got to see some really cool stuff. I got to go to amazing races. I had to sit down and shut up, until I was a little older and could kind of get on my own way. But I got to see and meet amazing athletes and people. Well, I used to think they were amazing, and then as I got older, I realized they're all narcissists. So I'm not so excited about the people, the people I used to look up to, racing heroes. I've come to find out aren't very heroic after all, outside of on a track, on a bike or something.
There's some classic, there's an event near here, a classic twin shock and classic motocross, and these old guys come back out and in their old Makos and their CZs and
oh wow, yeah,
and even before that, Matisses and
oh wow,
you know the one about here. Do you know what Matisse is? A Triumph.
Yeah, well, my stepdad actually he rode for CZ for a year or two period of time. Yeah,
CCM. Have you heard that before, Joey? CCM.
Yeah.
These guys have these old machines, and they must bust their kidneys.
Yeah. Back then, no suspension. Holy, that was horrible.
Sometimes you get them with the front leading arm suspension. You've seen that before, not the shocker one. That's
yeah, that never really took off. It was
that was early. That was
those things that worked good on paper, but not in real, in real action.
Anyway, Joe, we've diversed a wee bit from the main subject tonight, Joey. But I think it's not been a bad thing, eh? It's not been a bad thing, is it? Or has it?
I've enjoyed meeting you and having this conversation. So yeah, on that and doing the channel and having the folks in chat, looks like they were having a good time. So
well, I hope we can get somebody next week. Somebody else can jump in and do a wee bit of this, and converse with you, because hey, why not?
Yeah,
it's not hard to do, is it?
No. It's just it's just talking about what we know about, right? And
Aye, and everybody brings something else to the table, don't they? Everybody brings something to the table that's on their own personal level. You know, it's a good thing, eh?
oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Aye.
That's like I said, that's the only reason I didn't totally leave social media, because I still want to, I'll keep my page up just to say, hey, we're going live,
Ah,
this and that.
Joey, we shall keep it going to the end now. What's the point in chucking it in now, man? Keep it going till the final flag's waved.
Yeah, that was my plan. That was my plan, but there's just so much, there's so much, bickering and
Forget the bickerers, Joey.
yeah,
Just let them bicker.
I know, I know, I know, but it's, I've had, yeah, there's just some things that have just become really kind of culty to me that I just had to I had to back out of and get away from. It's not healthy. And it's really sad because these are people that I really love, but I see I see things a little differently, and it's all good. I mean, I have no hard feelings for anybody because um a lot of these are people who have helped me out and helped me understand and taught me a lot. So I have no hard feelings, no ill wishes, nothing like that. And I just can't go with only that remains, because only chaos and a shitstorm
I know. I
all we
mean,
got.
it's love can turn like that. You know, when things get chaotic. We can
Yeah,
talk about love now, Joe. We can talk about love and niceness and let's go down gradual and blah blah blah.
yeah,
But when chaos happens, love
you know
gets thrown out the window, and
yeah, if
it's down to the last kind of dog food. You know,
I know. If you have one person in your household who gets it, then you've got at least a little bit of that. You've got a little bit of love. You got a
Joey,
little bit of a connection. But aside from that, most people are all alone. That know
Joey,
what we know and are dealing with that are all alone, and there's no love in that.
I'll tell you my thoughts on that, Joey. Right, I'm the only person in my household that gets it. Right, but
Right.
I don't want the rest to know. Can that? You know what I'm
Um,
trying to say there?
yep, yep.
I'll take the burden. I'm carrying the burden of the knowledge, as you are. But I just let, let them enjoy their lives.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that make sense to you, Joey, at all?
It doesn't, because I've always been, for me personally, I'm a realist, and I need to be able to talk to other people who are
Mm-hmm.
are on the same page,
Uh-huh.
and and you know everybody's on the page of you got to vote. And I've never been I voted one time, but I've never been on the page of voting because I've always saw through it. Um, so yeah, it makes things difficult, and that's why I just can't go along with the only love remains stuff, because we're gonna war and kill each other, even in our own families, until there's not another human within reach that we can reach to take their shit. Um, and that's what just disgusts me about life, and that's basically why I wake up sick every morning. That if I'm
Mm-hmm.
off on a weekend and I'll have a job, then I'm a little more comfortable and a little more relaxed, and I got to do that when I got fired last year. I was off for pretty much the better part of the year. I used up my 401k, lived off that, and then that ran out, and I started shitting myself because I got scared financially, and then luckily got my old job back. So, in announcing races, like, in fact, I gotta sign off soon because I gotta get some sleep. I've got a full weekend of race announcing, and then I gotta get back up and go to work Monday. I'm
Does that
hoping
keep you?
out because
Does that does
want
that keep you occupied and keep your mind? If you're
it.
getting busy, does that help you?
No, because I don't like leaving the house. I don't like being around people who aren't on the same page, because I'm just not gonna feel comfortable.
You're not going to find many people in Joey, are you? You're not going to find many people on the same page, are
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. As soon as I
No.
walk out the door, like as soon as I think about having to walk out that door, like I said, when I get up every morning, I start throwing up. And you know, and then it'll feel good later. You know, it's not like it goes away until I get home, and then I can have a couple drinks and kind of mellow out, and then I can have a meal and enjoy the evening. You know, but I have to
Next
go to bed
day.
early, you know, because if I don't go to bed early, then I'm gonna wake up even sicker. Yeah, it's just
Nah.
the fuck.
Well, Joey, if you want to wrap it up now, Joey, I mean,
Yeah,
I've had
yeah,
my whiskey.
yeah. Thank you,
Eh,
thank you, Billy. I really appreciate you hanging out, and it's been good chatting with you. And
aye.
please, man, please, anytime, any Friday, dude. Let's not be straight.
I hope somebody else jumps in. I might, if somebody else jumps in next week, I might jump in and accompany them as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I guess somebody else, please do this with Joey next week.
sure, yeah, absolutely.
Aye,
And I
aye.
think I might have a guest lined up for next week. We'll see how it goes because he's in Spain. Well, he's in Spain right now, so I don't know where he's going to be next week, but he's going to be back where he is from, and I forget where he's from. So, but yeah, either way. And then I've got, since you like moto, I've got an old friend of mine who I turned on to Guy's work. He was a journalist. I published a motorcycle racing newspaper for 5 years. Back right until right after 9/11. After 9/11 happened, I knew that shit was going away. So, and it sure did. My paper died after that. But anyway, a really good journalist. Took pictures. You know, he magazine covers. Great journalist, smart dude. You know, helped me with my paper, and he's one of the very few people I know from you know, professional media that you know, that understood what's going on when I told him, when I showed him guys work and stuff. And so yeah, I hope he comes on. We'll talk a little bit of moto just because of our background. We can't not do that. Um,
Hey,
but I don't want to bore everybody too with it. But yeah, hopefully have some good, interesting guests coming on too.
nice one,
Not,
Joey. But listen,
not that you weren't. I mean,
no.
I really appreciated us
Was it
hanging out.
that was it that boring?
No, no, dude, you're great, man. You're great because you get it. You understand the information, you know, and everybody has their own way of their details, you know, of how they see it, how they come to find it. And that always fascinates me because, you know, people like you and I are on the same page, but we're so far apart, we'll probably never meet. And we would never even meet online if it weren't for, you know, these pages and people that follow Guy's work and Kevin. And I think it's really super cool that you found Kevin first, because most people, like I said earlier, most people find Guy and then you find Kevin, and then you can really start to put a lot of stuff together, because then, you know, because Kevin as a journalist really does a good job of you know, bringing in others, because he's obviously interviewed more scientists than any other journalist, right? Um, as Guy has as well. And then it's funny, like the Guy is a scientist interviewing another scientist. It's almost like embarrassing. Like I feel bad for the other scientists because they just aren't on board, and they still think that we're in the sixth mass extinction.
The
You know?
2100. The 2100 is the deadline.
Yeah, yeah, that too. It's like where, you know, but just like Guy points out, people, even scientists, even professionals, they can't connect the dots and see the big picture because everyone is so specialized in
But
what they do.
again, Joey, as Guy and Kevin and a lot of people will tell you, a lot of these scientists are tied into a college or university, tied into a
Oh,
pension scheme, they're tied into. It's all about pound signs, not about our dollar signs. Sorry, I'm in UK.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's
Yep.
not about the science. It's about continuing their journey, their pension.
Their grant money.
You know, and it's,
They
they're
can't
tied.
say,
They're tied into it. You know, and they can't upset the equilibrium of that. You know, the apple cart. God.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. They have to show that, be able to show that they're working on the problem. There's more research to be done,
Mhm.
and with more research and more time, we can work on it and fix it. Even though everything else around that
Just
is
keep the money
melting.
coming.
Yeah, keep the money coming. It's
I'll tell you, somebody
science
told me,
is,
I was in a job last week, right? And there was a scenario that happened, right? And a guy, an old worthy, that's actually related to me, yeah? And it was a bit of a wee job. He says, when you go and cut, you know what a mole is? A mole, underground animal, a mole. You get them in America, moles?
yeah, we have moles. Yeah.
Aye. When you're sent to trap all the moles, don't trap them all. Because you want to keep the job going. So you want to be back to get, you know, the rogue ones, eh? Don't
Oh,
catch them
right.
all.
Yeah.
So
And they need to aerate the land too, right? That's
no,
very
I'm on
important.
about, yes, I know the nature's ploughman. But I'm on about, this guy says to me, when you go and catch them, trap them, don't trap them all because you want to leave one. So you need to go back again and get more money for trying to catch the new ones, but actually it's old ones that you left. So it's about continuing the gravy train. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? As a
Yeah.
scientist do, it's a continuation of the grabbing of money for what, continuing a lie, or not not telling people the facts. You know, it's you know
Oh,
what I'm trying
yeah.
to say, Joey. You know what I'm trying to say, Joey.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's just, you can make the same story about a bad mechanic. A bad mechanic is going to fix one thing and he's going to mess something else up. And then you're like, oh, and I've known enough good mechanics that I know that the people that I work mostly don't work that way, because I've being in parts and stuff, I've always, I but there are mechanics for sure that well, I want them to come back, so I'm gonna fix this, but I got to mess something else up so that they'll come back and be like, oh, now this doesn't work. Even if it's down the road, they loosen something, or
or even the worst case scenario, the mechanics will get a female who knows nothing about cars and invent things that are wrong with the car. You know, just to milk them out of money. You know,
Mhm.
so
Yeah, you got to replace those muffler bearings, man. The muffler bearings are worn out.
aye. Oh, you know, so we're diversing again here, Joey. But what we're trying to say is there's people who will milk things and prolong things and ignore things purely to keep their funding coming in. You
Yeah.
know, or they could be totally blackmailed or bought. You know, there's different scenarios. Like, you know,
Yeah, and that's exactly all conservation is. All conservation is, and that's a sad thing, is that in concert, in a good mechanic, an honest mechanic can be good and honest. An honest conservation biologist, other than Guy, is impossible, because yeah, they're going to just continue the problem and say we're working on it, and with more time we'll fix it. More research needs to be done, and blah blah blah. So they keep getting more grant money, and it's just that that's the whole thing about it. Everything is a lie. Everything,
I
every
remember
little thing about every little thing is a complete lie. Right?
it's the old scenario. The one I've heard many times is with and that's first when I was talking to you earlier on about, I was researching the banking system and the whole corruption and oh, the debt bomb that's being built up and built up. It's about kicking the can down the road. Yeah, they always kick the can down the road. You know,
Yeah.
another. You know, it's somebody else will pick up the trouble. You know, once like, Trump's out the way, he's gone. Whew, I can go and serve. You know, if once one puppet's out the way, they can say, well, that's next guy's got the job now. He can kick it down the road a wee bit and try and survive his term. You know, Biden for me, Biden. Fucking Biden. You see Biden. He sniffs fucking children. Man. What can you say about him? You know, he sniffs children in front of the media. What the kind of freak is that?
It was heartbreaking to me to see all the people, even people in like near-term human extinction groups would just flock to Biden and the Democratic Party. And I understand, like, I understand some for probably for a lot of women, getting Trump out and anyone else in was something,
Look,
but
that's what I said, Joey. I
Biden is
said, look,
no better. He's more of a quiet rapist than Trump
that's what I
is more
said.
of an outspoken rapist.
It's an elaborate game of good cop, bad cop. They're playing the whole fucking world, man. You know, it's
Yep.
too easy when you see it. When you see it for what it is.
Yeah, the good cop, bad cop. That's brilliant.
It's evil or less evil. Really, that's all you get. You get two options. These guys, evil or less evil.
Yeah, and you mentioned that before. I meant to say that because I've never heard it like that, and the way you put that was really, really cool. I love that.
Well, it's just the way I see it, Joey, and it's the way it is in my eyes, and it's fucking insane.
Yeah, it is, man. It's totally insane. It's
Joey, I've got to sign off, Joey, here, right? But I'll need to go back and look at the comments in this and see how I go on. see what the reviewers say. But
right, yeah, I love doing that too because I like to go back and do all that. I'm very self-critical. So
well, I'm not really, but I talk that fast, Joey, and people might not catch what I say sometimes. And I just hope everybody made sense of what I said. I know you caught on, Joey, but
no, you made perfect sense to me. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I loved the way you put things. It's in your own way, and you're absolutely right about what you say. You know what's going on and you get it, and I think that's really cool. Well, I appreciate you coming on and hanging out.
No worries, Joey. I'll catch you again, pal.
Yeah, man.
Keep. I'm dry.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but
I'd
me
try
for
to
the night.
pour you some, but I'd probably fry my computer.
How do you get up this, Joey? How do you get out of this thing?
Yeah. Have a good night.
How do you get out of
Thank you.
it? How do you get out of this? The leave thing here at the bottom. Is that it?
Yeah.
I'm not good with this stuff.
I'm just gonna say goodbye to everyone in the chat. If looks like there's still 18 folks here, so yeah, I just want to say thank you all for being here. Thank you, Billy, for hitting the Zoom link and had a good chat for everyone to hang out with, and thanks everybody very much. I really appreciate it, and I'll try to keep my shit together as much as possible for another week. We'll see. Thank you guys, and we'll do this again in a week. And even my wife made a little cameo. Wow, damn, you famous now. Like 200 people are gonna find you.
Oh,
Thanks everybody. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you. You don't know what it means to me.
for real.
It'll help me. It'll help me keep me going for another week.
At least another week. I got you.
All right, everybody, be well. Be well, and let me know if anytime anybody wants to talk privately. I'm always open because I know how hard this shit is, and I know not everybody gets it. Not everybody has somebody to talk to, and that's really, it's hard, right? It's really hard. I'm lucky because I got a cool wife. That's why I married her, and I've got you guys. I've got you guys too, and so yeah, man, hit me up anytime, and if I can do anything to help you get through your day, that'll it helps me too. So you good, everybody. Thank you again.